You can see on Google that this area used to be filled with buildings, but now if you look out the window you can see it's all gone. You can see the sign that's burnt.
This is how horror movies start. This is officially the day 2 of our road trip. Now we are moving from Kanazawa to Toyama.
But we're going to go up on that peninsula in between the two places.
Yes, we are driving through the coastal route and looking at places in between.
Stopped at this temple here that's really pretty. It's in the middle of a forest. It feels like you're in a movie.
Yes, it looks really magical, and you can tell there aren't many foreigners here because everything is in Japanese. We started our day exploring the historic quarters of Kanazawa.
This district is well known for its geisha culture, and it looks beautiful in every season, especially in spring and winter.
Usually it's busier, but we visited early in the morning when all the shops were still closed.
This is the main street, I think.
Okay.
We've made it to the Noto Peninsula to visit one of the most spiritually significant spots in the region, Keta Taisha.
Its name literally means the shrine where the spirits gather, and you can feel that energy the moment you walk through the gate.
This place has more than 2,000 years of history, making it one of the oldest shrines in all of Japan. Keta Taisha is famous across Japan as a power spot for tying of knots or finding love. People travel from all over the country to pray for a good match or to strengthen their relationships. Just a short drive from Keta Taisha, we have arrived at Miojoji Temple. If Keta Taisha was about the spirit of the forest, Miojoji is about the grandeur of Japanese craftsmanship.
The star of the show is right here, the 5-story pagoda. Standing at 34 meters tall, it was built in 1618 without a single nail, using ancient earthquake-resistant engineering.
It survives centuries of coastal winds and winters, and honestly, standing under it, it makes you feel incredibly small. I guess this is a cemetery.
Maybe it's an old cemetery. Thank you for taking me to the cemetery, darling. This is exactly what I like. Hello, tree. How are you doing?
It's not running away like the other one.
Okay, it's a frog.
I've never touched a frog. I've never touched a frog.
You've never touched a frog? You can touch. Where is it?
Here. Over.
Oh, hi. I touched.
What does it feel like?
Feels like a frog. Like a reptile. Are you afraid of a frog?
We're continuing on our Noto Peninsula road trip, moving away from the spiritual sites and towards the sea. We've come to a tiny spot with a massive history, the old Fukura lighthouse.
Morning comes with the early summer light.
This is officially the oldest wooden lighthouse in all of Japan. It was built back in 1876. Back then, there were no electric bulbs, just oil lamps flickering in the dark to guide sailors home. If you're a fan of history or just love a good sea view, make sure you put Fukura on your map. the relaxing music. This is how horror movies start.
Squid Game is beginning.
Yes. It's time to jump on a bridge.
We've just pulled up to Ganmon, and the first thing you see is this striking structure called the Bridge of Happiness. Local legend says if you cross this bridge while making a wish, it's guaranteed to come true. Ironically, the bridge was closed, so we headed down to explore the rocks.
And as you descend the stairs towards the Sea of Japan, you can see a ton of large insects running away from your torch.
Oh, look at all those huge bugs.
Oh my god! Oh my god, it's a Scolopendra. I think it's... it's poisonous.
Look at it go.
Venomous. But once you're in a cave, the views are worth it. It's loud, it's salty, and it's absolutely breathtaking.
We spent some time trying to get out of the caves because the waves were high and it felt like we were playing a computer game jumping over the waves.
You can actually take a boat tour to see the cave from the water, which is probably the best way to realize just how massive this rock formation is. But unfortunately, we didn't have time for the boat ride.
After escaping the waves at Ganmon, we needed a break and decided to stop for lunch at the roadside ramen chain called Hachiban Ramen. Do you know what the 8 stands for?
No.
It stands for Route 8, the road we're on right now. If you're road tripping through this part of Japan, you see these 8 logos everywhere. It turns out this is a massive local favorite.
The second I started putting tissues on to protect my white t-shirt, the waitress brought me a beep. So nice and attentive.
The name Hachiban actually means number 8, because the very first shop opened right here on the side of this exact road, Route 8, back in 1967. So it felt only right that since we were on Route 8, we had to stop at the source. As we continue north from our ramen stop, the drive is starting to change. We're heading towards the heart of the area hit by the 2024 Noto Peninsula earthquake, and you can really feel it under the tires.
We've made it to Yase Cliff. The name Yase actually comes from a word meaning to lose weight, the idea being that the view is so terrifyingly steep, you'd lose weight just from the sheer fear of looking down. This spot was famously featured in the mystery film Zero Focus, and standing here on the edge of these jagged rocks, it feels every bit as dramatic as a movie set.
From the main cliff, there's a small walking trail that leads us to a hidden piece of history. Legend has it that back in the 12th century, a legendary samurai was fleeing from his brother and managed to hide 48 ships in this tiny, narrow inlet to escape a storm. It's amazing to think that 800 years later, the landscape still holds these secrets.
We continued our drive and we stumbled upon a picturesque viewpoint with interesting rock formations with a hole in the middle of it. Enjoy the views with us. Continuing along the coast, we honestly stumbled upon the cutest place in all Noto. This is Totoro Rock.
The resemblance to the Ghibli character is uncanny, especially with those little white stones the locals have placed there for his eyes.
It's like nature decided to create its own tribute to Totoro right here on the edge of the Sea of Japan.
So now we're at the Miojoji Temple here on the peninsula, and this is a really grand temple complex here. It's really nice.
Yes, all the places next to the sea and the temples, everything looks really nice. And I think especially in autumn it's gonna look really nice.
So join us as we explore the temple.
Little did we know that we were approaching a place where an earthquake had recently occurred. At this point, we didn't actually know the full extent of the damage yet.
We were just disappointed to see so much of the beautiful architecture covered in scaffolding and so many of the main attractions closed for construction.
Every site is closed and under construction. Where do they charge? This is what the temple looked like in 2024.
What we thought was unlucky timing for our trip was actually a glimpse into a massive, ongoing recovery effort for a site that is the spiritual heart of this community.
In cases it's raining, we have some umbrellas. I also heard that Japanese are famous by stealing umbrellas. So it's interesting that these umbrellas are still here.
As we approached the city of Wajima, the landscape began to change into something unrecognizable. The power poles were crooked, leaning over the streets like they were frozen in mid-fall. We saw buildings that were completely pancaked, some half destroyed, and others in the slow, painful process of being rebuilt. It was our first real look at the scars left behind from the earthquake of January 1st, 2024.
On that New Year's Day, a massive 7.5 magnitude earthquake ripped through this peninsula, one of the strongest in Japan's recent history.
We decided to drive to the Wajima morning market to see what remains and what has been rebuilt since the earthquake. So we're here at the former Wajima morning market. You can see on Google that this area used to be filled with buildings, but now if you look out the window you can see it's all gone. The earthquake caused a big fire that caused this whole area to just burn down, and now it's just empty fields. This is what it looked like on January 1st. 1,000 years of history. The famous Wajima morning market and its 200 stores were devastated in a single day. Immediately after the quake, a massive fire broke out. This is the sign for the morning market that no longer exists. This power pole here is crooked as well. Behind you. I guess the birthday cake survived. But because of the narrow streets and the roads being torn apart by the earthquake, firefighters couldn't reach the flames in time. You can see how the road has collapsed. You can see the sign that's burnt. So this is where we're walking. In Google Street View you can see all these buildings, but if you look now it's completely different. So you can see this column here on this building and all the buildings around here, and this is all that remains now. Leaving the city centre, we drove along the coast, where the landscape has been permanently altered. In a literal shift of the earth, the coastline here was uplifted by up to 4 meters. What used to be the seafloor is now dried land. Alongside the beauty of the crashing waves, we passed home after home sitting empty, damaged and left behind by families who could no longer stay. Along the coast, they built a new road, but the old road was still there, and next to it, the evidence of numerous landslides and collapses.
As we left Wajima, a beautiful sunset lit up the coastal road. It was a strange, bittersweet moment. The views were objectively beautiful, but the history here is devastating. You can see the mark of the earthquake in every bumpy road, every collapsed roof, and every leaning light pole. The Noto Peninsula is still standing, but it's a place forever changed.
A nice view to end day 2 of our trip here on the Noto Peninsula, a region that suffered from a massive earthquake just 1 year ago, but the scenery is amazing here.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And see you in the day 3 of our road trip.
Welcome to day 3 of our road trip here in Japan.
Today we're driving from Toyama to Matsumoto. And today the weather is finally not sunny and super hot because there is a typhoon coming to us.
We said goodbye, no clarity. I'm leaving now. Are you blaming me? Radio silence, but I guess that's how it can be. Now you're just a stranger in a crowded room. Many different faces, forgetting yours. When did we decide to be on our own? You're on your own. Now I don't know who you are. Someone who had my heart.
Okay, now as
I'm walking with my bag because we should set the front. Let's walk back. Oh, so hot. Oh, so hot. So hot.
what does it say? Does it say, please Maria ring the bell?
When I pass you, I'm going to turn and look at you. We should have kept walking. Perfect place for kiss, but we can't kiss.
It's okay. Okay. Are you my oppa?
Mm-hmm.